Have you ever tried asking a 5-year-old to sit still and concentrate on something for longer than 10 minutes? It's a challenge familiar to most parents. You know how it usually goes. A few minutes in, the chair starts to squeak, a telltale sign of impending restlessness. Eyes begin to wander, searching for any distraction. Hands fidget, constantly needing something to do. Attention inevitably drifts, pulled away by 1,000 different thoughts and impulses. Now, imagine something completely different. Picture a classroom filled with 5-year-olds, all quietly engaged in their work. They are fully absorbed in what they're doing, maintaining their focus for nearly 45 minutes straight. There's no shouting to be heard. No constant reminders to pay attention are needed. No tablets or screens are involved in their activities. And surprisingly, there are no rewards offered for good behavior or punishments threatened for bad. Just a sense of calm pervades the room, filled with steady, unwavering concentration. This isn't some far-off dream. This is the everyday reality inside many classrooms in Japan. So, what exactly is happening in these classrooms that allows such a serene and focused environment? And why does this approach work so effectively with young children? Let's step inside a typical Japanese classroom and observe what makes it so special. School backpack scene 1. The first surprise, no rush to academic pressure. Many people mistakenly assume that Japanese children are able to focus for longer periods because they are pushed harder academically from a young age. But in reality, the opposite is true. In early childhood classrooms in Japan, the primary goal is not intense academic achievement. It's not about memorizing endless facts and figures. It's certainly not about racing ahead of their peers. Instead, teachers prioritize something even more powerful: building and nurturing the fundamental ability to stay engaged with a task. Children are given ample time to participate in activities that they find meaningful and enjoyable. This could include drawing, building structures with blocks, organizing materials, cleaning up their workspace, or repeatedly practicing simple tasks until they master them. There's no pressure to finish any activity quickly. There are no constant interruptions to break their concentration. And here's where something truly amazing happens when children aren't constantly rushed or interrupted. They naturally settle into the activity at their own pace. Focus becomes comfortable and natural, not something forced or strained. Brain scene 2. Focus is treated like a skill, not a personality trait. In many parts of the world, we tend to believe that attention is simply an inherent trait, something you either naturally possess or lack. Some people are good at focusing, while others just can't concentrate. But in Japanese classrooms, attention is viewed and treated as a skill that can be developed and strengthened, much like a muscle. Teachers don't expect or demand instant concentration from their young students. Instead, they build it gradually over time through consistent practice and encouragement. Initially, activities may only last for 10 minutes. Then the duration is increased to 15 minutes, then to 20 minutes, and so on. Over time, children learn what it feels like to stay with something, even when it presents a challenge. They begin to understand their own capacity for sustained attention. They inevitably experience boredom during some activities and learn how to work through it. They encounter difficulty and learn the importance of persistence in overcoming obstacles. Instead of immediately rescuing children from feelings of discomfort or frustration, teachers gently guide them through it, helping them develop coping mechanisms and resilience. And that's how genuine, lasting focus is developed and nurtured. Eyes scene 3. The power of observation over interruption. Walk into one of these classrooms and you'll immediately notice something quite unusual. Teachers speak less frequently. They focus on observing their students more intently. If a child is struggling with a particular task, the teacher doesn't immediately step in to offer assistance. They patiently wait. They closely watch. They allow the child the space and time to try different approaches, adjust their strategy, and think through the problem themselves. This quiet patience sends a powerful message to the child. You are capable. You have the ability to figure this out. Keep going. Without constant interruption from the teacher, children are able to remain mentally immersed in the task at hand. Their attention isn't constantly being reset every few minutes by external intervention. And slowly, but surely, their ability to stay engaged grows stronger and more resilient. Broom Scene 4. Responsibility builds mental stability. Another surprising element often observed in Japanese classrooms: children are given a significant amount of responsibility for maintaining their environment. They actively participate in cleaning the classroom. They help organize learning materials. They prepare the spaces needed for different activities. These tasks are not treated as mere chores, but rather as an integral part of the learning process. Why does this matter so much? Because structured responsibility fosters a sense of internal order and discipline. When children learn to take care of their surroundings, they also learn to regulate their own behavior and actions. External order and organization support internal calm and focus. And calm minds are simply better able to concentrate and learn. Directed Scene 5. Fewer distractions, deeper engagement. Modern environments are often filled with constant stimulation, flashing screens, a cacophony of sounds, and an endless stream of novelty. Japanese early childhood classrooms are intentionally designed to be simpler and more streamlined. Materials are carefully chosen and limited in quantity. Spaces are uncluttered and well-organized. Activities are purposeful and designed to engage children in meaningful ways. When there are fewer distractions vying for attention, the brain doesn't need to constantly switch focus from one thing to another. Children are able to go deeper into their activities, exploring them with greater intensity and focus, instead of jumping haphazardly from one thing to the next. And that depth of engagement is where true concentration and learning reside. Red Heart Scene 6. Emotional safety comes first. Here's one of the most important, and often overlooked, factors that contribute to the success of these classrooms. Children feel emotionally secure and supported. They understand the expectations placed upon them. They're familiar with the daily routines. They trust their teachers to guide and support them. There's no fear of being rushed, criticized, embarrassed, or constantly compared to their peers. When the brain feels safe and secure, it doesn't remain in a constant state of alert, scanning for potential threats. It can relax and settle into sustained attention and learning. Focus thrives in an environment of emotional safety and trust. Hourglass Not Done Scene 7. The Hidden Secret: Time is respected. In many educational settings, children's schedules are packed with rapid transitions. From one activity to another. From one subject to another. From one set of instructions to another. But in Japanese classrooms, time is treated with respect and reverence. Activities are allowed to unfold slowly and naturally without feeling rushed. Children aren't pulled away from an activity the moment their interest deepens. They're allowed to remain immersed in the task, exploring it fully and completely. And that sustained immersion is the birthplace of long attention spans and a lifelong love of learning. Seedling Final Insight: Focus is a way of living. So, why are these 5-year-olds able to stay focused for such extended periods of time? It's not simply due to strict discipline. It's not a matter of inherent intelligence. It's certainly not the result of excessive pressure. It's the product of an environment that is thoughtfully and intentionally designed to nurture and cultivate attention every single day. They are given ample time to explore and learn. They are given trust and responsibility. They are surrounded by a calm and structured environment. And they're engaged in meaningful work that captures their interest. Focus isn't demanded or forced upon them. It's carefully cultivated and nurtured. Sparkle's closing reflection. Imagine what would happen if more children around the world had the opportunity to experience this kind of supportive and enriching environment. What if focus wasn't something we tried to force upon children, but something we patiently and lovingly nurtured and grew? Because the ability to pay attention extends far beyond simply learning in school. It shapes how we listen to others, how we solve complex problems, how we navigate and experience our lives. And maybe, just maybe, the ability to focus intently for 45 minutes doesn't begin with strict rules and rigid discipline. It begins with a deep understanding of how children truly develop and learn. If you enjoyed stepping inside this classroom and gaining these insightful perspectives, please subscribe for more explorations into how different cultures around the world help children thrive. Because sometimes, the smallest, most consistent daily habits can create the biggest and most impactful lifelong abilities.